is happening? Welcome to episode 39.
Yep.
Oh, sweet. That got added in the notes correctly. Of the Nintendo Powercast. I'm your host, N64 Josh. I've got Hate Zero. What's up, dude?
What is up, and what is up, NPC fam? I am Hate Zero, your hero.
Isn't it fun when we give ourselves nicknames? It's great. Good times. Good times. We have a very special, we're just going to call him co-host tonight because he's already been here once. This is none other than Run, Jump, Stomp, and that's the last time I'll call him that tonight. It's RJS. What's up, dude?
That's right. RJS for short, much easier and quicker to say.
And from the Nintendo Switchcraft.
That's right. It's a Nintendo podcast.
Yeah.
Solo show.
There you go. There you go. So, guys, before we get started, quick word from our sponsors. If you'd like to get yourself a free audiobook from Audible, go to audibletrial.com/NPC. Pick up Super Mario or Console Wars, Ready Player One. Hey, what's your book?
Ascend Online.
Ascend Online. So good. There you go.
So good.
So that's audibletrial.com/NPC. Also, guys, if you would like to get yourselves a gaming chair, the gaming chair I'm sitting in is from OP Seat. Go to opseat.com. and use coupon code N64Josh to save yourself $10. I know that right now, almost all the seats are on sale for $50 off, so you can actually get $60 off right now. That's opseat.com. Use code N64Josh. Okay. We do this show live Tuesdays, 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time on twitch.tv/N64Josh. Come hang out with us. It's a good time. I want to say welcome to everybody that's here. We're really glad you're here. So thank you for being with us. I see Kirby Geek, G.I. Jello, a One Iron Auto, Bravd, I think, if I said it right. Paliner. What's going on, guys? Thank you for being here. We appreciate you. So, let's jump into this. If you guys want to get to know RJS, go back a few episodes and you can hear about his history if you missed it. We've got it all there. Plus, make sure you go check out his show, the Nintendo Switchcraft. 3 times a week?
Yes. Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays.
There you go. There you go. Dude, this guy's a workaholic. So when his kids want to talk to him, they just get on Skype and he's like, hang on, I'm podcasting. So, all right. Well, RJS, kick this thing off for us, man. What games did you pick up this last week or, and what have you been playing?
I picked up 2 games. I picked up Steam World Dig 2, which I know you guys spoke about last week. And I also picked up Inverses, which is a really weird game that wasn't even on my radar, but somebody sent me a code, so I checked it out, and it's impressive. I won't spend too much time on Steam World Dig 2, except for, Josh, you have to get it.
Okay.
I think Hate agrees with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to get this game. I have been totally sucked in. My son was watching me play it earlier, and he was like, Dad, can I play? Can I play? And I was like, well, okay. I don't usually let him play my Switch because he has his own. And, it's not a physical copy, so I can't share it. And I was like, all right, I'll let you play. Luckily, I have the Japanese account and the European account. So that you can check out the different stores and stuff. And so he logged on to the European account and was playing that game. And he totally got sucked in. I think he caught up to me already. He was having an absolute blast playing that game. And I highly recommend it.
Very cool. Very cool. Yeah, I need to. I want to play. I have the first one. I have it on Wii U. Never even tried it. So I need to. I know I'm behind. The first thing I see in chat from Kirby Geek, another game that Josh won't finish. So. Yeah. Well, that's cool. So that's pretty much been it for what you've been playing, though. Steam World Dig and Inverses.
Yeah, and Inverses, if you don't know, I can't remember if this is the part where you talk about. We can hit on it for sure. What the game is.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, hit on it.
So it's it's a multiplayer game. I mean, you could play it solo if you want, but this multiplayer game, they've got both co-op and competitive. And you are these little squares on a black and white board. And when you shoot a bullet, it will change the colors of the board. And if you are a black square, you can only move over the white tiles. So if you shoot the black tiles, they'll all turn white, and then you can move over those while your opponent is then changing the colors. So it keeps reversing the colors back and forth, and it's really fun. My son played that earlier as well. We both played competitively, and then we teamed up and played against 2 other people online, and that was really fun. And then we played a little bit of co-op where like these things show up on the screen, and you got to try and shoot as many as you can. It's called arcade mode. But that's another really, really good game. I don't know what the price is because I got it for a code, but it's my guess is probably a pretty cheap game, but it's a fun game.
Yeah, absolutely. I was totally surprised. I got a review copy as well, and so I don't know the price of it, and I don't even think I can look at this point because it all it says
just
is
says it's in your library. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but I was completely shocked. I was completely shocked by it. It is basically Othello, I believe is the name of the game, on steroids, right? So, which is a game that came out on Switch very early on, one of the first indie titles or whatever. So, it is a blast, and we'll get into it a little bit more later on. Hey, what have you been playing, dude?
Golf Story, a lot.
Nice.
Golf Story, a lot. I was playing a little bit SteamWorld Dig 2 as well until Golf Story came out. I am just loving that game. So if you haven't done it, and we'll get to my review of it later, if you haven't picked it up and it looks even remotely entertaining, just do it, Josh. Just do it.
Just do it.
I almost forgot, Josh. You will appreciate this.
Okay.
I got one of these right here. This is a cartridge from the Fairchild Video Entertainment System, which came out the year I was born, 1976.
Wow.
Which is really cool. It's a video game. I got 4 of these. So I was really happy to get my hands on these.
It is that being in cardboard kind of a rare thing?
I don't know. I mean, it's 40 years old, so you'd think so. This is what the cartridge looks like.
Oh, nice.
You know, and it's got
is there tape in that?
What's that?
Is there tape in that?
What do you mean tape?
You know, like a 8-track or a cassette tape?
Oh, yeah. No, it's got this weird fold back thing. It's really strange. I tried to look up how much one of these systems were. It's like $300 on eBay, but
wow. That's
but I
crazy.
thought you would appreciate that as a person who collects older stuff.
Oh yeah, I love it. Hey, any other games you picked up or you playing?
I picked up a little special something for myself on Friday.
Without burning the mother down.
Without burning the mother down. So we're somewhere in between handwritten letters and burning the mother down. But I got a SNES Classic. So pretty excited. Pretty excited.
Good stuff. Were you able to get one? You were. RGS, right?
I was.
Yeah.
I was. I'm both happy for Hate and disappointed because I was really looking forward to the salt. Like he said, he said the next podcast will either be super happy and friendly or right back into the salt mines. And I was like, man, I hope they're in the salt mines because that's entertainment.
So we almost were. So the first store I went to Fred Meyer. It's our smaller local chain. They're owned by the Kroger family.
The secret, right?
Yeah, the secret place we go. And they got 12, and I got there before the electronics department opened, and it was way too late. So I'm like, all right, I'm just gonna go to work anyways. And on my way to work, I drive by Target anyways, and it's a large Target. So I'm like, they open in like 10 minutes. My chances are slim to none, but what the hell? So I pull up, and there's a huge line of people. I'm like, all right, well, I'm probably too late. So I get up and like, am I too late? And she's like, no, you here's your ticket. And I was number 48 out of 55. So
that's cutting it
close, barely made it. So it almost was a salty episode. So Paliner's asking where the apology is. So the apology was going to come if Targets were getting 300 per store, like I was quoted, and I don't think we're anywhere near 300 per store, but not as bad as I was expecting.
It's good. That's good. Yeah, I went to Fred Meyer as well, and I had the Best Buy pre-order, so I was fine. But I'm like, I was actually hoping to find like lines of people, and like the plan was like, I'm going to take some coffee and record a bunch of footage for YouTube, and it'll be fun. There's nobody around. I went to Fred Meyer. I walked in, the lady's like, I just sold the last one. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Well, Target's across the street. Go across the street. No line. Nobody in the store, really. And I walk up to electronics. I'm like, you have the SNES Classic? I'm guessing you don't. She's like, oh, we have 18 of them. I'm like, you've 18 of them? And there's no one here? She's like, yeah, there's no one here. And I'm like, will you sell me more than one? She's like, I can't. I'm like, okay. So picked that one up, which that one automatically became Eric's because we had an agreement that we would both try to buy two. And so the good news is, as soon as he got his, guess what? We're now giving one away. So you can check out the details on my Twitter. If you're here with us live, you can hit !giveaway and you'll see the details there as well. And so that was kind of cool. Able just to walk in, grab it, walk out. And I hooked it up, started playing immediately. And we'll get into that more. Something special happened today. I completed my Super Smash Bros. Amiibo collection. I got my unicorn, which was Bowser Jr. And it was not, I obviously just went on eBay and had to find the cleanest box or whatever. But it didn't ship forever. Like I was going to have to set up a claim and all that garbage. And then it finally showed up today. Really clean box. So my Smash Amiibo collection is 100% complete. And no, I'm not going to go start opening it like some of the comments I've seen on my Instagram.
Yeah,
You
gotta free them.
No, stop. Yeah. They like being warm and cozy in their little plastic containers, cardboard. So anyway, so that was really cool. I'm really excited for that. As far as games, we talked about this a little bit ago. I got Just Dance on the Switch. I got Bomberman. I got they're all leaving. I got Disgaea 5. I got FIFA, and that was that's enough.
Some of those were completely acceptable titles.
Some of them.
Look, I got Just Dance so I could try to lose weight. Because
there you go. Can I circle back to Palinar's pre-order debacle with Amazon?
Yeah, go for it.
I can bring a little bit of salt here. So they have no problem screwing over their customers who have pre-orders in. But if you live in a place where they do the treasure truck, you can get some of those should be going to customer pre-orders.
Oh,
how's that going? Cool. How's that happening?
No.
What is the word with that? Anyways, you can carry on. Okay. That was bogus. Bogus.
All right. We'll keep right on going. The other game I did pick up is the Mario Bros. Which did we talk about that already?
We talked about it was happening. I totally forgot to buy it in the glory of Golf Story. Yeah, so I picked it up. I do want to say it is much better. The arcade ROM is far better than any port that has ever been released. There's way more charm to the game. There's way more character animation. And I know that sounds kind of silly talking about basically an 8-bit game, but like Mario's mouth just opening and having like the little blue spot on his eye, there's just more charm to it. When you knock the turtle upside down, he climbs out of his shell and he's like, what the heck, kind of picks the thing back up and gets back in it. There's way more. Charm is the best way I can put it. And it actually was fun to go in and try to set the high score and then upload to the leaderboard. So I tweeted at Go Nintendo today to see like, hey, have you guys heard anything about the next release? Because there should technically be one tomorrow, I would think, if they're going to do these things on a weekly basis. They had no clue. They hadn't heard anything. And so I don't know if we're going to see one Wednesday or not. I'm hoping so. I really want Punch-Out. I'm really wanting Punch-Out. I'm not hoping so. I don't want it. Just save them. Save them, Nintendo. Stop the bleeding. So,
Josh, have you changed your tune at all on the price after playing it?
I still would say $5 would be a sweet spot for sure. But I mean, we're talking about $3, so it's not the end of the world. I mean, yeah, it's
$3 per arcade game.
Right. No, exactly. Will it deter me from purchasing all of them? Probably. If they were all right around that $5 mark, I probably would end up getting most of them. But
what if they come out physical?
Stop. Hopefully they come out like a pack, like the Nintendo arcade pack or something. I'd be down with that.
I would buy the hell out of that.
Oh yeah, for sure. Cool. For sure. So, as far as just games I played though, and I kind of mentioned it last week, I did play quite a bit of Cuphead. I got to tell you guys, I really hope that Microsoft and Nintendo seem to be playing nice together as of recent, and that game just screams Switch. It really does. Like, it's so gorgeous. It's really hard. It's like Contra style, like, this is brutal. But after playing Contra 3 on the SNES for the first time this weekend, I was like, this is my kind of game. So I know it's not a Nintendo game, but it really should be. It really should be. So let's dive into this week's releases. Hey, do you want to knock these out real quick?
Yeah, let's go rapid fire. You guys ready?
We are ready.
October 3rd, Lovers in a Dangerous Space-Time. October 5th, and until I say further, they're all October 5th. Action Verge, Tumblestone, Ninja Shadow, Stardew Valley, Symphony of Eternity, Volgar the Viking, Earth Atlantis. October 6th, we're getting Mario and Luigi Superstar Saga, 3DS, Layton's Mystery Journey, 3DS, and Oxenfree.
Boom. So, who's picking up what? And by the way, I'm pretty sure the number for last week's releases, it was either 20 or 23. I don't know the exact.
I thought it was 18.
I saw 19.
See, that's the thing. I've seen multiple.
It's too many.
I literally feel bad for whoever had to release against like Golf Story and things like that. Like, I don't know. It's crazy. I hope we're not on the verge of a like market saturation, I don't know.
Well, I think we had the opposite issue with the Wii U, so Nintendo, in their infinite wisdom, decided to take it in the opposite direction. People complained that there wasn't enough content. Now we're just going to give them so much that they'll never shut up about it.
Do you think that they're setting us up to have a drought in the future because there's just so much coming out so fast? Like, maybe they should hold some stuff back. Like, if I were Nintendo, I would probably have held back Fire Emblem Warriors until next year, because you don't want to put that out at the same time as Mario Odyssey, even though I know that their markets, like, it's a very different demographic, but people are going to avoid Fire Emblem Warriors to play Mario.
Yeah, I think Mario targets every Switch owner, where the other is just for the fans of the series. So it makes you wonder. I don't think they're stupid. So they must have enough backlogs of titles, plus they know what is theoretically coming from the third parties, that they feel comfortable enough just coming out throwing punches. Because this has got to be the best console release we've ever seen that I can recall.
According to Nintendo voice chat that I listened to this morning, or finished listening to, I believe we are sitting at approximately, and it's even more now because they recorded that last week, at like 130 total games on the Switch.
In 6 months.
Yeah. There's 140 physical games on the Wii U total.
Crazy.
Total. And right now, the switch between digital, and I don't know how many digital games are on the Wii U. I don't have that number, but that's insane. Because if you were a Wii U owner, you know what it was like to be like, there's nothing to play. And even the indie titles that were coming out on it, there was nothing other than Shovel Knight that was like a must own.
Yeah, you could buy everything. You could pull a Josh and buy everything that came out for the Wii U and be okay.
Most definitely. So it's definitely an interesting conversation of it. At some point, are these indies going to go, is it even profitable for me to put a game out? And I'm going to save it for our talking point, but I want to talk about what was it about Golf Story? And we'll get to it a little bit later, but I don't have it in our notes. I want to make sure we talk about it. As far as the news, Nintendo bans live streaming of their games on YouTube for those that are part of the creator program. RJS, what do you think about this?
Well, I think Nintendo's just trying to protect their brand because they can't look at a video and say, yes, we're going to monetize this if it's live. Because, you know what I mean? Like, they can't look at it. They could look at it after the fact, but they can't monetize it during the live stream. So they don't know if Josh is going to start screaming racial slurs and expletives in the middle of his stream. And so they're like, well, maybe we shouldn't do that. So I understand where they're coming from, but I still think that the whole thing with the Nintendo Creators Program, which is basically an MCN where, for those of you that don't know, you sign up, you submit your video to Nintendo, they claim it, and then they give you a cut of the profit that they make off of it. I don't think that they're saying that they're banning. They're not. I got the letter, and they're not specifically saying they're banning it. They're just saying you can't submit the live streams to the Nintendo Creators Program. I think they could have gone about it better, but I see their point.
Yeah, I love having Nintendo send pennies to my PayPal every month.
Yeah, same here.
Super handy. What do you think about this, Hate?
More or less what RJS said. I think it's just Nintendo doing Nintendo. You know, they're always going to protect their brand and protect young children from seeing things they shouldn't. Right? I mean, that's they don't want to associate with anything like a recent streamer just got hit for. So I think that was the move, and instead of making small measures, they went for a big sweeping weird choice. Or at least that's how it looks.
Yeah, I don't even want to talk too much on this because the whole creators program just infuriates me to no end. So I think it just needs to go away, honestly. And they just need to let content creators be there to actually help push their product, like help sell their product, and not double dip on it. But that's my 2 cents, and I want to keep going because I don't want to get salty. I'm supposed to be the happy one.
You are.
So,
yeah.
SNES Classic seems like it's off to a better start. I know we kind of touched on it a little bit. It's definitely off to a better start than the NES Classic, which was like nowhere to be found. I remember walking around that Friday morning going, why did I sleep in? And nothing but disappointment until like March of the next year. I luckily got one. Luckily. So definitely off to a better start. More people got them. I was able to snag 2. I've still seen scalpers, but I did see some posts that scalpers were actually not getting nearly as much this time around, which, I mean, good. Don't buy it from a scalper. Wait this thing out. I think you're going to get a chance. So that's my thought.
Especially now that Nintendo said that they're bringing back the NES Classic next year.
Right.
So I think what they're going to do is they're going to continue to bring back these devices as long as the demand is there.
Yes, that would be my goal. The question is, are they going to modify it in any way so there's a difference between Gen 1 and Gen 2? Because you know that's something they could do.
I never thought about that. That just made me really mad.
I apologize. That's the first thing I thought. Maybe it was the salt in the brain, but the first thing I thought was they're gonna be different packaging or somehow slightly different. And
I don't care about packaging.
Okay. Well, then maybe it'll have different games. Maybe it'll.
I think it's gonna have 2 controllers.
That would suck. I mean, that would be great. That's a good. I mean, good for them, but that would suck for me because I only have one controller.
I think it's gonna have 2 controllers and be $79.99. That'd be my guess.
Ooh, longer controller cords by G.I. Jello. That would be amazing.
I bought these extension cords, and they're like, I don't know, they might be like 10 feet extension cords or something. Yeah. They're super long, and it's fine to just do that. It'd be better if it didn't have to have an extension cord, but it's fine.
I was on the Hello Nintendo podcast this last weekend, and they Matt, who joined us a couple weeks ago, is using the wireless, the 8-bit do, I think is what they're called, or something like that. He's using those wireless controllers, and I guess somebody even did a post on Reddit where they opened up the SNES Classic and put the wireless adapter on the inside, so that it's not, you don't have to have the little flap down to be able to play the SNES. But anyway, who knows what the NES Classic, what's going to happen, is going to say round 2 on it, because then Destinaut said in the chat here, if it's different, that'll bring on the scalpers. Yeah.
Oh, my guess is it's going to be different. You heard it here first. It's going to be different. I just don't know what.
Oh, man. So the Wii U eShop is being shut down January 2019. Does this affect either one of you guys?
I think it's the Wii eShop.
Sorry, I said you. I didn't mean to. The Wii eShop. Okay. I did not mean to add the U.
The Wii eShop?
Yeah.
The Wii shop.
The Wii eShop. The Wii shop.
The Wii shop. Yes.
Yeah, that affects me back in 2005 or whenever the Wii came out. Does anyone care? I mean, come on. It's the Wii. Who cares? Shut it down.
If you happen to have a large virtual console library on your Wii and it gets wiped out and you go and buy a used one from GameStop after 2019, you can't put those games back on.
Yeah, and if your microwave dies in the middle of cooking your meal, you're not going to have a hot dinner that night. Like, who cares? Move on, people. Let's go.
My Model T, it broke down and I couldn't get a part for it. I was really upset.
That's true. You had to call Ford himself.
With a Ouija board.
I went out and dug him up.
Oh my goodness. Okay, well, I'm glad you guys are just a bunch of heartless jerks that don't
Josh,
like people playing the Wii.
How do you feel about this, Josh?
Yeah. Let's hear it.
My heart breaks for, all this. No, it doesn't. It's one of those things. It seems so far out. I was surprised we got it noticed so soon.
Here's the real question. When this happens, will my Wii no longer be a Netflix box?
That's good. Who knows?
As long as you already have Netflix on the Wii, then
it should be okay.
So it's not just going to shut down the entire network infrastructure.
Destinaut's very upset by this, according to his latest statement in chat.
Figured he would be. He's still using the Wii daily.
Oh my goodness. So there you go. That's that. Out with the old, in with the new. Mario Run got an update. You know how I found out about this? I was looking at my phone and Mario was winking at me and I was like, what the? Why is he winking? I was really hoping to hit it and see him with the Cappy hat on for the, kind of just doing a little marketing for Odyssey. That's not the case. But what they did do is they remixed 10 levels that you can play through in real bite-sized portions and actually made it really made sense. And I'm like, hey, you know what? I'll actually pick this up and maybe play it every now and again if I'm like super bored and have just a couple minutes to kill. It's now that game. Whereas before it was like, I can't even finish this level. I don't have time, whatever. It's a good update. I was impressed by it. I'm surprised they're even doing anything with the game anymore since it's really not making them much money, but hey, good on them.
They also, you didn't touch on the biggest thing about it. They updated it to where you can play your music in the background now.
Oh, that's right. And Mario has headphones on. So
yeah. When you play, headphones go on.
Yeah. So I had Breaking Benjamin in the background while I was
bringing me back to GameStop.
I did not love it, by the way. I disagree. I found the super short levels to be really, really boring. I like the longer levels because when I miss something, I could hit that bubble and go back and try for it again. And if you miss it going through those little short levels, you just missed it and you're done. And I felt like, well, that I might as well just start everything over because I can't possibly get it perfect now.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. And that, for some reason with that game, some games I'm a completionist with. That one, well, according to Kirby Geek, I'm probably not a completionist on any game, but let's be honest.
He means the first level, everyone. The first level. He's a completionist on the first level.
Yeah. So for me, it was just just a good like pickup, but I can totally see if you were trying to get everything. Like I definitely missed a few things, and I was like, who cares, So, okay, well, that was basically our news. Talking points. Hey, give us the Golf Story review, and I want to spend a little bit of time on this game.
Geez, what can't that game do? It can toast bread and brush your teeth for you. No, the game's fantastic. It reminds me a lot of Earthbound right off the bat. The exploration is great. Kind of has, if you've never played Earthbound, because I know a lot of people haven't, maybe the exploration in like Pokemon and the graphic style. So, there's no dialogue, but you talk to people and there's thought bubbles, and the bubbles are really good at emphasizing mood. So it's not just a normal dialogue bubble. If someone's mad, the bubble gets huge and then shrinks down, or it'll be slanted if they're confused, italics. Like they have a good use of language in it. The golf is fun for me, at least. I've heard some people not like it, but it's not bad. The golf is solid. It's easy enough that anyone can pick up and play. The RPG elements, you get more powerful. If you increase power, your slicing, spins, all of that goes down. So you have to actually use a little bit of thought in how you want to upgrade. So that being said, G.I. Jello kind of nailed it. This is my indie game of the year to this point. And so I'm going to have to give this, without a question, a shell. No, I'm just kidding. It's a blue shell. Definite blue shell. It's fantastic. And so it's not perfect, but it's a must-own game.
So, RJS, let me ask you. When you first saw Golf Story at the Nintendo Direct, what were your thoughts?
Oh, I thought this game looks awesome and I want it. I think that Golf Story looks like a really, really compelling game, and I want to buy it, but I like we've been talking about the number of releases that have come out recently. It is impossible to keep up, and picking up Golf Story at this point, I feel like I'm just throwing my money away because I can't get to it. And I really want to get to it. So it's going to be something that I'll pick up in the future, definitely, because it looks fantastic.
Hey, when you first saw it, what was your initial reaction?
I think I was in maybe the minority. I was really excited. Because as soon as I saw it, I thought this game looks like Pokemon or Earthbound. And then golf as the backdrop, that's done deal for me. I've always loved golf games, and this one's a little light on the actual golf. It's not incredibly technical, which makes it more approachable for everyone, I'd say.
Yeah, when I first saw it, it didn't strike me as something that people would get so excited for. It just didn't. I was kind of shocked at some of the comments, especially going and reading on Reddit and stuff after the fact, oh, this is a day one purchase for me. I can't wait for this game. Listening to different podcasts and stuff talk about it, and these guys basically struck gold with this thing, right? This is a two-man team that have been working on this for 2 years, I believe. It was originally a Wii U title. And which even that was a risk, and then here they basically catch lightning in a bottle, put it on the Switch, and it makes it to the number 2 bestseller or whatever for the most download.
Number one.
It surpassed SteamWorld? Dig?
As far as I know, it's the number one. Maybe it's just for this month so far. But I saw it was number one ahead of a ton of games.
Wow.
Let me try to confirm.
That's wild. And I'll just say when I checked, it was number 2, but I was still very, very impressed by that fact. It's just, I guess I'm just like, Kirby Geek says it did make number 1 for a few days at least. So, I mean, good for those guys. Good for those guys. But like, is it just me? Like, I feel like really not shocked that they created something that's awesome and people are liking, but like, I feel like it was just out of left field, and all of a sudden, here's this game that everybody is just hyped for.
I don't think it's just you. I think maybe you're slowly becoming the minority because of how well it's doing, but it has the Nintendo charm. Like the character design in the game and talking to people, and it's like the old school RPGs where characters are really over the top emotional and dramatic. So you talk to them and he's like, I want my X item, and it just has that old charm that you don't get from every game.
I think something else that they did that was really smart is they didn't announce it super early, which I've seen companies do over and over and over again, like Square Enix, they're notorious for this. They'll be like, hey guys, we're working on this game and it's going to come out in the next 5 years. I'm like, well, don't tell me about it now. Wait.
You mean any Sony E3? Is that what we're talking about?
Yeah, basically. Yeah. And so the guys the people behind Golf Story, they said, oh, here's this game. And then they didn't say anything else about it. And then, and here's the release date. It's like tomorrow or whatever the hell it was. It was fast. And I think that's the way to do it, because you hit that hype really high. And so people, like when you mention it, people like get really excited. And then slowly their hype for whatever it is that you're talking about fades out. And they hit their marketing was on point, and they hit it at exactly the right time. And I think that you're right. They struck gold. It's a good thing it came out at the end of last month instead of at the end of this month.
This month, yeah. Yeah, for sure. For sure.
Which might be why it's a little buggy.
It could be. That could be. And I mean, I'm all for golf games. I love Mario Golf. So I love it. I've been playing Mario Golf since I played the NES golf games, right? And really have always enjoyed it. But Mario Golf really, really like, especially on the 64 and the GameCube, even the DS. The Game Boy version had those RPG elements that I was like, what is this? Like, I don't want to do this. I just want to golf. But
it didn't have the exploration, right?
It was fairly linear, like just kind of level up your player and then, move to the next course, that kind of stuff. So,
yeah.
But so I'm definitely more intrigued by Golf Story. I will say it is a game I plan on getting eventually, but I'm in the same boat. I would literally buy it and probably play it for a minute and then not touch it again. And I'm trying to use restraint.
Yeah.
Let me ask you a question, Josh. Yeah. Let's say that before you get around to buying Golf Story, let's say that Mario Golf Switch comes out. Are you still interested in picking up Golf Story?
Oof. I'll say this. I need to watch a few videos. I need to get a little more informed about it. And then I could really answer that question.
Can I answer?
Right off the cuff, I would just buy Mario Golf.
Can I answer the question for Josh?
Please.
He would still be interested because this game is a RPG first, a golf game second. And I think that's where they've done differently than any. This is not a sports game. Even the golf is wacky. It's not a technical golf game. There's like moles on the course that'll steal your ball and throw it, away from where you want it to go if you hit it in their zone. So it's a golf game, but it's a golf game second. Like they really fleshed out everything else. So it wouldn't compete with Mario Golf because they'd be so different.
Gotcha.
It's not
the arcade golf.
Yeah, and it's not Tiger Woods golf either. It's something in between, because the golf mechanics are press A to start your swing, press A to finish the power, and then press A one more time to get into the strike zone.
Right.
That's the mechanics.
Yeah. Typical old school golf game. Kirby asks a great question. What other sport game would you like to see the Golf Story guys take on?
Ooh,
Tennis Story, of course, and Cricket Story come to mind. I wouldn't mind seeing some Frisbee Golf Story, maybe a little croquet.
There's a little Frisbee in Golf Story, but we'll get to that.
Oh,
and they're really
spoilers.
So if you ever played disc golf or been around people who played disc golf, one, they're very snarky about you calling it Frisbee. And two, they call regular golf ball golf, and this game captured that perfectly. So just know that. But yeah, that's what they call it because it's ridiculous. It's a ridiculous community. So, but disc golfing's fun if you like it. That's your thing. That's great. I've done it. It's fun. I'm not great, but anyways.
That's at hate0 with an X.
For Josh, you can hit me up there. So I do want to say, I want them to do something crazy, and I would like them to make a game called Curling Story, and it follows a team of people who want to become an Olympic curling team.
I can't believe you stole mine. Like I thought nobody's gonna say curling. Curling is for me, and you stole it right out from under me.
Man,
that's amazing. What are the odds? What are the odds?
Do you have a fallback?
Badminton, I guess.
Badminton. You know what I think would be funny is Destinaut says chess story, but a hockey story where they literally could just throw down and play hockey anywhere, right? Whether it be on the street or on a pond in the snow, And again,
on the roof of a convenience store.
There you go. There you go. So Kirby says curling is the top answer. So you guys were both correct. So, the Golf Story. I don't know. Maybe I feel like I'm slowly being convinced. By next week, I may end up saying, "Hey guys, I played Golf Story and I love it."
It's a blue shell. Remember, the blue shell rating means it's a must own. Red shell means you should probably get it. Okay. Green shell is if you really want it. So this is a must own title.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll keep that in mind. FIFA 18. I picked it up. I reviewed it. I'm not a soccer fan. I have never been a soccer fan. But Mario Soccer on the... it's not Mario Soccer. It's the Mario Sports All-Stars on the DS. Has soccer in it. You get to play as Mario. It's actually quite fun as a video game. I will give it that. I can see why it is one of the top selling sports titles year after year. This game is there's some interesting choices that EA made, not only with the game, but with the packaging, with the marketing. A little bit of it makes me feel like they want this game to fail. It's almost what it feels like. I walk into Best Buy to go buy this game, and they have a big, A-frame sign or whatever, FIFA 18, Xbox, PlayStation, nothing from the Switch. There was no Switch, marketing on this poster whatsoever. It was only Xbox and PS4. It's like, that's odd. That's odd that they wouldn't. And this isn't I don't think this is Best Buy promotional material. I think it's from EA, right? Just seemed very strange. Get the case to FIFA, open it up. It's just blank white on the inside. Nothing. No user agreements. Nothing at all. Just to compare, I opened up Disgaea 5. The entire sleeve is interchangeable. You can flip it over and change the cover if you want and have all of the same. It looks like an actual game cover front and back. Like all the user agreement, all that stuff's all written there. So I was surprised to see that. Let's talk about gameplay. Gameplay, awesome. played great. Now, the only sports game I play that I can compare it to, other than the Mario Soccer, is Madden. Right, because I play Madden every year. I like football. It's not a huge like sports nut, but I enjoy Madden in the holidays with my brother-in-law. That's like our thing. So, the gameplay for FIFA on point. Like the character animations on point. I was surprised at like how lifelike some things were. The graphics are what really seem flat. And that was before comparing it to like the Xbox and the PS4. There was just something kind of missing. Even when I was streaming it, Henny was like, is this the GameCube version? Like, what is the deal here? Why does it look so old? You know, there was just and I think what it was, part of it was the stadium. It was literally like a wide open stadium and there was nothing but bright sunlight coming in and kind of washing out the video. So, I mean, it in an attempt to try to be realistic, it really kind of made the game look flat. Shadow effects weren't quite as good as I was hoping. Overall gameplay good. Sound was just fine. That kind of stuff. I do a full review on YouTube, guys. You can check it out. youtube.com/N64Josh. You can get all the details there. But I gave this game a 7.5. What I don't recommend, and I've heard some people say, is it's not on us to buy this game to help EA get more games on the Switch, right? Like, don't buy this game as a favor to them. Buy the games that you want to play. And listening to the Nintendo voice chat, Pear was like, he goes, I know at the first, the rumor was, or EA even said, like, we're testing the waters with FIFA. Any company at this point that sees how the Switch is doing doesn't need to be testing any waters. Like, the Mass Effect trilogy needs to be on Switch. No doubt about it. Andromeda can stay away. That's fine. But the trilogy really should be there. Star Wars Battlefront, give us a version. Some kind of a version. Titanfall even. You know? Bethesda's all in. EA should be doing the same thing. And so, FIFA 18, 7.5. If you like soccer games, you want it. I think the funniest thing I saw was this. I think it was on Reddit. It's soccer on the toilet. So, you know, like, if that's your thing, I guess go for it. But anyway, moving along. Oh, G.I. Jello says night games look the best. And he does say it's basically FIFA prior to FIFA 17, which was the Frostbite engine. So, yeah, it's not running on the Frostbite engine from my understanding.
Yeah, it's custom built for the Switch.
Yeah.
And that's might be why they marketed. Yeah.
Yeah, which I will say 60 frames a second, 1080p when you're docked, 720p and 60 frames. Didn't see any hiccups really. Like it ran smoothly. It does feel like a gimpier version is the best way I could put it. And that was before comparing it to anything.
It did. Of all of the FIFA 18 sales, the Switch sales were 1%, which is not a good number. 1%.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and we talked about it a few episodes ago. FIFA is primarily a PS4 title. I mean, I'm just pulling these numbers out of thin air, so don't quote me. But is everybody I know who plays FIFA all PS4 players? So
they also only own a PS4.
Yeah, I read a little bit about this, and I think it was 60-40, basically 60%. Not for FIFA 18, but for last year's. Right. It was 60% PS4, so you're right about that, and 40% Xbox One. And then this year, the split's a little bit different with the Switch bringing up only 1%. But like Josh was saying, there's no marketing. FIFA 18 for the Switch is sold out on Amazon, so I guess it's hard to find. And that makes me wonder if EA was just like, what we'll do is we won't put very many in the channel. That way, people will be more inclined to go digital, and we'll save $10 on each one because we don't have to buy that memory card. I could be wrong, though.
When I looked, it had only made it up to like the 13th most, like in the bestsellers or whatever I can't remember the actual category on the Switch shop, but it was not very high at all.
So I think this is earlier. You said, are all these games, or maybe RJS did? Someone said, are all these games we're getting going to hurt indie developers? I think Golf Story and FIFA are a prime example of why that won't happen in the future. I don't think it matters if you make an indie game. As long as you do it well, you're going to be successful. And if you're a third-party big AAA dev and you give us a crap port of a game, not saying, I mean, you gave it a 7.5, so it's not total crap, but it's behind the curve. It's not going to sell well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's interesting. So Kirby Geek says it's 9 for the US right now. So it is, I mean, that's better than where I saw it, but still not like, I mean, Golf Story's killing it. Steam World Dig killing it. So hey, let's talk about something fun. SNES Classic. Overall, let's give this thing a review. Hey, start us off, because you put this in here. I want to see kind of the how you want us to tackle this.
Where I want to go?
Yeah.
Okay. So the system, immediately I open up, great nostalgia. I'm happy. It looks, smells like a Nintendo. Couple design things that are going to keep me from being overall happy. I hate the flap. I think the flap was a stupid design. I wish they wouldn't have went with that. Like, that's going to be the bane of my existence, I think. I mean, they could have, what would have made me happy is that little slot on the top. If that would have been the flap and I could dock my controller into the top of the console. I'm sorry, RJS. It looks like I just stole your concept.
Brilliant. No. That's
okay.
Brilliant. That is a brilliant idea. Nintendo, give this man some money.
That's as soon as I saw the flap, I'm like, why? The system already has a flap. Why are we doing this? So that bummed me out. The other minor complaint is not so much that I think the controller length is a problem, but they should have just made it the same length as the original for both consoles. The original controllers were, 6-7 feet? Why not just make them the same length as that?
Oh, I know why.
Yeah, you probably do. But I will say, just to finish up my review before you guys get to yours, the system's great. If you can get your hands on it, you won't be disappointed if you had any love for the Super Nintendo. Some of the games didn't age as well as you probably remember them, which is okay. They're old. But for me, not quite a blue shell. It is a red shell based on system alone and the number of games. My heart says blue shell, but my head says red.
Fair enough.
There you go.
Fair enough. So the chords, I think we mentioned this. I should pull out a nunchuck from the Wii. I'm willing to bet that the nunchuck cord is the same length as the NES Classic cord, and they just had a whole lot of those things laying around.
Well, the SNES is longer.
No, I have black ones.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The SNES is about a foot longer.
I think it's more than a foot. It's much longer.
It's like the NES is around 2 feet. The SNES is around 4 feet, and the original's around 6.
Yeah. So.
And I totally agree. It should have been. They should have just. I don't think they're saving all that much money by making it a shorter cord. Like, how much money could they possibly be saving that way?
Yeah, it's an odd choice. I do want to backtrack a little bit. G.I. Jello says that FIFA is number 3 in the UK. So, and that should be number 1. He also says so. Palantir says that the system's a lot smaller than expected. So, yeah. But anyway, RJS, continue, please.
Well, I really like. Okay, so I'm going to do comparisons to the NES Classic to the Super Nintendo Classic. They've improved on everything. Mm-hmm. I really like the menu music, and every time I turn it on, it makes me think, why in the hell does the Switch not have menu music yet? Now that we're shutting down the Wii eShop, let's take that music, remix it, put it on the Switch so we have some music, but that's beside the point. So the music is fantastic, and I'm a huge fan of chiptunes, so I love that stuff. I really like that, especially as a streamer. How when I'm playing the 4x3 game, instead of having everything covered with black space, you can turn on like a frame around it, and they give you a few different frames to look at, which is really cool. And then they have this rewind feature, which is cool, but I'll never use it because it's too much of a hassle to use, and it feels like cheating.
Right.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness. Yeah, that was I was like, what is this rewind thing? What that's crazy. That's crazy. So overall, what would you give it? Like, I don't know how you do your reviews typically. Do you have a
I don't do numbers. I'm against numbers, so we differ in that area. But what I would say is if you can get your hands on one, definitely pick one up because it's awesome. And the library on this thing is fantastic. So sure, there's things that are missing that people are like, why isn't this here? Or why isn't that there? You're not going to be able to please every single person. And of course, there's the weirdos out there that are like, I'm going to hack this and throw every game on there. Sure, you can do that too, but I'd prefer to keep it pristine. But pick it up. Pick it up. Pick it up.
Yeah, I mean, I hadn't really thought about trying to give this thing a number review. Overall, I love having it in my collection. There's a number of games that I never played. I mean, I was relatively young when the system came out. So this was a time when, like, your birthday, maybe you get a game, Christmas, maybe you get a game, maybe you get two if you can talk an aunt into getting you something or whatever. And so, other than renting stuff, I didn't have a huge library of Super Nintendo games. So being able to go back and right some of those wrongs, Kirby Geek, it has been fun. And I again, like Eric said, like, I love the packaging. I loved opening it up and pulling that poster out that looked like it was right out of the 90s. And he's like, what poster? That look was like, there's a poster in here. Yeah, there's a poster in there. And there's also a poster in the NES Classic too.
I have that one on the wall.
Yeah. So there you go. He's going to pull it out right now.
There you go.
So just, it honestly, I did a full video of this as well on it's on my YouTube channel, but it felt like Christmas morning. It felt like Christmas morning opening that thing up. There you go. There's your poster if you're watching live. So
I just thought it was instructions.
Now you're playing with superpower. Again, the music in the menu, it's great. And I don't know if it was on Twitter or where, but somebody was like, okay, I need a remix of this immediately that I can just put on, like, just on repeat and constantly listen to it, because that music is great. The other thing I loved is, like, for recording my videos, I would just have it playing in the background, and what it would do is Mario and Luigi show up and they run and jump and hit the game and start the demo, and then the demo plays, and then it goes back to your main menu, and then they run and hit the next game, and they're kind of just goofing around and stuff. And overall, really, really impressed me. Again, as a streamer, having the borders around the outside, I thought they were great. Star Fox 2, can we talk about that for a sec? Did you guys both play it?
I haven't played it yet, but I'm not worried about spoilers or anything. Like, I unlocked it, and I've been focusing on other games that I won't get into yet, but go ahead.
Yeah, there's not really anything I don't know if there's not really anything to spoil, really, but like, IGN gave Star Fox 2 a 5.
Ooh, ouch.
Well, it's hard to review those games today because Star Fox did not age well. It just didn't. I mean, you've got a draw distance of 2 pixels. Like, it's just not
right.
It didn't age well.
Yeah, and I mean, what they focused on was the slowdown because of how much they were trying to do by basically instead of you being more of an on-rail shooter, which Star Fox was basically that, it was just a glorified on-rail shooter. they try to give you more freedom in this one to be able to go around a space, a 2D space that looks 3D, and the slowdown is significant, And so I can understand their decision to say, hey, let's bag this thing and focus on real 3D with the 64. It makes sense now, especially after playing it. I still... Nintendo World Report gave it a 9 out of 10. Sherlock Logic says in the chat. So
wow,
there you go.
Wildly differing.
Yeah. I don't think I would give it as low as a 5. I'd probably go around a 7 if I was going to give it a number score, maybe 7.5. But I hardly even played it, so I'd like to get into it a little further to before that came around. But I thought it was fun to have to play the first level of Star Fox and then unlock Star Fox 2. I thought that was really neat. So overall, I would say yes, just pick up the SNES Classic if you can. And if you want to enter our giveaway in the chat, !giveaway, check out my Twitter. There's a pinned tweet there, I believe. I'll make sure there is by the time this goes live. So, hey, you have SD card comment, and then we have a retro question. We'll wrap up.
Yeah, I'll be quick. So a lot of people are reporting issues with games that I'm just not getting, specifically NBA 2K, Golf Story. I'm starting to wonder if SD card read speed is the culprit. Because you can put any micro SD card in, and not all of them, they're not all created equal. So if you don't have a fast enough, and this is purely speculation, if you guys want to weigh in, I know Josh, you're in photography, so you might have some insight on SD cards. I'm starting to think, because I'm not getting any issues on NBA 2K. I mean, it's slow, but the game's just slower than it is on other consoles. People are having some crazy glitches and stuff that I'm so much that they're requesting refunds and saying the game's unplayable. I'm starting to think this is an SD card difference more so than, or there's problems with switches, because there's no way you can download a game and it's that different game to game.
Yeah, that's interesting. There is definitely a difference in between. Like, I mean, if you look at different cards, I have multiple just regular SD cards. I have flash, compact flash cards for my cameras, and there's the extreme versions, and there's regular versions, and even different brands work better with different devices. I have a Kingston compact flash. My Canon camera, my 7D, I can shoot photos with it. I can shoot like rapid fire, maybe like 10 to 14 shots, and then it stops and it has to finish, like catch up. I can't even shoot video with it. But my extreme SanDisk or whatever, it shoots video just fine. I can shoot like up to like probably, I don't know, I'm just guessing, probably 40 shots, and then it starts to slow down, like if I'm just doing rapid fire. So they are definitely not all made the same. And so it may be something worth looking into if you're having those issues on your Switch. What kind of SD card do you have? There should be some information out there of which ones are recommended. You know, I know you can get the ones with the Switch logo on them. Those should be working great, but you may be paying a little more.
Well, and that was kind of my main point in bringing this up, was do some research on the read speeds before you purchase, because I'm seeing these things go on sale and I'm seeing them getting pushed onto Reddit. Some of these I would not recommend anyone buy for even their digital camera, and people are buying them for their Switch. So do some research on the read speeds before you just go out and spend your money, because that's going to waste your money and give you a bad user experience. RJS, do you have any thoughts?
I have a 10. I don't know what the speeds are. I know that 10 is the one that people had recommended that you go with, and that's what I have. I think that what would be really nice if Nintendo, right in the operating system, gave you a thing that said, rated your SD card. Hey, this SD card rates as a 6, or on our scale of how awesome it is for the Switch. Yeah. You put it in, it detects it, and it says, oh, this one seems a little slow. You might want to upgrade that, or take it back to the store or something. That's what I think would be great. Or if they just gave us, I don't know. How much do the ones that are branded Switch cost? Like, are those more expensive because they've got the logo on them?
I don't think we know the price yet.
Oh, and yeah, I have no clue on the pricing yet either. I think they're up for pre-order possibly, but I'm out of the loop on that one. What I do know is that, like, what a lot of people were recommending, even IGN was recommending on their podcasts, is they were telling people go on eBay and buy these larger SD cards that people are taking out of their phones and then reselling. And so a lot of times they were getting stuff at a really great price, but who knows how old some of these things are? Who knows how compatible they are? You know, like.
So one thing I can tell you is if it's a GoPro recommended micro SD card, you can use it on the Switch, because to be able to do 4K at 60 frames like the newer GoPros can do, it's got to be top of the line crazy speeds. So if you are looking for a GoPro micro SD card, you'll be safe on the Switch.
There you go. There you go. All right, our retro question. What game on the SNES Classic are you most excited to play for the first time? And if anybody watching live, feel free to answer in the chat there. But Hate, you want to start this one?
Man, there's so many that, well, not for the first time, but probably Super Mario RPG. And it won't be the first time I've played it, but if all things go as planned, it'll be the first time I beat it. I never owned it. I only rented it. So never got very far, and renting those games, you have to start over every time. So that's the one I want to tackle first.
Fair enough. And you haven't got a ton of time with the machine yet, right?
No, I hooked it up for the first time yesterday, and I immediately wanted to play Earthbound again, but I was like, I'll just mess around with Super Mario World, and that was a bad choice. I mean, it was great. It's so fun, and the music, I love it, but that was all I pretty much did. So
he beat Mario World,
not quite, but I played way longer than I anticipated. So
nice. That's good to hear. RJS, how about you? Any that you were most excited to play for the first time?
Street Fighter 2 Turbo. I'm just kidding. Earthbound. I've never played Earthbound. I've heard so many people say a million things about it. I let my community pick what game I was going to pick first, and they unfortunately chose wrong. They chose Super Mario RPG, which is a great game. Like, I'm really having fun playing it. I'm probably about 6 hours in so far, and I'm having a blast playing it, but I can't wait to finish it so that I can play Earthbound, because I've just heard so many people have put that at the top of their RPG lists. So what about you, Josh?
This is probably there's a lot of games I haven't played.
Street Fighter 2 Turbo.
No. Did you say that in stream, by the way? Was that
did I say what?
That you'd never played Street Fighter 2? Or
no, I was just making a joke.
Okay, I recently talked to somebody, they're like, yeah, I've never played it. I was like, what? You've never played Street Fighter? I can't remember where. I think it was maybe, I don't know. I can't remember where it was, but I was super shocked. Anyway, Yoshi's Island. I'd never played it. And then when I looked at it, when I remember seeing it in Nintendo Power, I was like, this is not my Mario. I
was the same way.
I was like, this is not for me. This is not, like, what have they done? What have they done? Now, after playing it, Kirby says, now you know how we feel, Josh. About all the games I've never played.
RE4.
Right. But I will say, like, some people came into the stream while I was playing it, and they're like, "Oh my gosh, the crying baby! Like, if I never have to hear that again." I totally, like, I was loving everything about it, and I got to do the what's it called, touch fuzzy, get dizzy, or whatever. Like,
I don't know what the hell you're talking about.
Yeah, I have no idea. I don't think that's a thing.
We're gonna have to edit that out. That's the name of the level. Touch fuzzy, get dizzy. Chat will confirm it. Just watch.
I think he's making a joke because I shaved my beard.
I'm not. It's not. If you play the level, there's these puff balls. If you touch it, the screen starts to go. It's like basically like
stream, bro.
Sure, there is, buddy.
That's it. I'm showing you video. But anyway, I found the game to be extremely charming. I was really kind of kicking myself that I'd never played it before. It's great. And I'm excited to jump into some of these RPGs. I was never a huge RPG fan. I watched a friend play Mario RPG, and I'm really looking forward to it. So I'm hoping I can find the time to actually be able to invest some time in these. I know everybody says I never complete a game. Like Yoshi's Island is on the list to get completed. Like probably next Monday we'll take another big chunk out of it on stream, and hopefully some this weekend as well. So here we go. I want to look at the chat. Let's see. Anybody else? Bravd said Mario RPG, and that's it. That's the only answer from chat. Everybody else is like, none of these games are my favorite the first time. When
I'm looking at the back of the box right now, and I have a Nintendo podcast, and people are going to be mad at me, but I have played Super Mario World, Zelda, Mario Kart, Star Fox, and F-Zero. And I haven't played any of these other games before.
Not Super Punch-Out?
Not Super Metroid?
No, I played a little bit of Super Metroid, but I didn't have it. So I've not played these games. Like I might have picked up a controller at a friend's house, but like we had a Genesis. So
right. We forgive you.
I have a lot of fun in store for me.
Oh, dude, thing. Super Metroid is like top 5, top 3 games for me. It's one I've actually beat, Kirby. And so it's
Earthbound's one of the greatest games ever made.
And I have no clue. I've never even seen a start menu for Earthbound. So
so good.
Yeah.
So good.
Lucky to be me. I get to experience for the first time. What did I want to say? Oh, Sherlock Logic. This is not to sidetrack the segment, but Forever 21 recently released an official Super Nintendo clothing collection.
They did.
I saw that.
Sadly, the only article I thought was like wearable was a female hoodie. And
yes, I know the one that you're talking about, but I can't remember what it looked like. Yeah,
it was red.
Cool.
It had like the Mario Kart on it, I think, and it looked cool. And then it's like a crop top. I was like, no, because I was like, maybe I'll just buy like a XXL females. I'm like, I can't wear a crop top. Get out of here.
Next episode, he's wearing a crop top.
Yeah, there we go. That's what we want.
Tune in next week. Right?
I'm back.
All right, guys. Well, hey, this has been a blast. I know we went a little long. Thank you, RJS, for hanging out with us, man. Can you tell everybody where they can find you and your content?
You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, and YouTube at Run Jump Stomp. And if you're looking for a podcast where if you like the sound of my voice, I talk through the whole thing. It's usually about 30 minutes, 3 episodes a week, and I talk all about Nintendo. It's called Switchcraft, and you can find it on wherever podcasts are sold. It's free.
Cool. Mr. Hate, 0 with an X.
Yes.
Where can people find you?
You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on our Discord. Join the community. It's a lot of fun. We got a lot of crazy people. I've been playing a little bit of Xbox. Also Hate 0 with an X there. You can catch me on the Switch. But tune in next week, and Josh is going to eat a box of crayons.
Every week. I don't know.
Hashtag eat the crayons.
No, my goodness. Okay. Well, guys, you're going to find me on Twitter, Twitch, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, Farmers Only, and 64Josh. Guaranteed. You'll find me in all those places.
Every single one.
Yeah. My YouTube is, I'm really trying this month. I want to put out a video a day. That's my goal. So, make sure to subscribe to that. We are giving away a SNES Classic. Details. There will be a link in the show notes. You'll be able to look right there. If you're in chat, ! giveaway. You'll have the details right there for you. Remember, audibletrial.com/NPC. Get you a free book from Audible and help support the show. Also, opseat.com. Use coupon code N64Josh. Get yourself a gaming chair. If you guys have a second, we've kind of stalled on reviews. and we could really use some more reviews. So if you have a minute on iTunes, you can leave us a review. We'd really, really appreciate that. And whew, we did it, boys. This has been fun. Thank you, everybody in chat. We will we'll see you guys next week, huh? Bye.
Good night, NPC fan.
Adios.
All right, later, guys.